On my first day as a police officer, my partner asked, "Are you cool to shoot someone right now?" "What do you mean?" I gripped the door handle instinctively. Briggs had been on the force for 15 years and was supposed to be showing me the ropes. He had gray streaks in his hair and eyes that never seemed to blink. "Don't worry, if you listen to every word I say, you'll walk out of this alive." He pulled the patrol car into a rundown neighborhood on the east side of town. Broken streetlights and boarded windows made everything look abandoned. My training officer at the academy had warned me about Briggs, but said he was one of the best cops on the force. Now I was starting to wonder what best meant. Briggs parked in front of a house that looked worse than the others. Paint peeling off like dead skin. Front steps rotting through, the kind of place where bad things happened, and cops were too scared to show up. He turned to me with those unblinking eyes. "Turn off your body cam." It wasn't a request. Why would I do that? My hand moved protectively to the camera on my chest. "We're not supposed to ask questions, rookie. Just do it." His voice had an edge that made me comply. I pressed the button and watched the red light go dark. Everything we'd learned in training said this was wrong. Body cams were for our protection and the public's, but Briggs was my partner, and I needed this job. The student loans weren't going to pay themselves. We got out of the car and approached the house. Briggs moved like a predator stalking prey. Every step calculated, every movement deliberate. He pulled out his service weapon and I copied him, even though we hadn't knocked or announced ourselves. "Turn off your safety and be ready for anything." He whispered it like we were already in danger. I clicked the safety off with sweaty fingers. This felt wrong, but Briggs had 15 years of experience. Maybe this was how real police work happened. Maybe the academy was just theory and this was practice. My heart was pounding so hard I was sure anyone inside could hear it. Briggs didn't knock. He just raised his boot and kicked the door in. It splintered inward with a crack, and we rushed inside where everything was pitch black. No lights, no sounds, just darkness so thick it felt alive. The smell hit me first, mold and something else. My eyes tried to adjust, but there was nothing to see. Just shapes that might have been furniture or might have been people. Briggs gestured for us to split up, which went against everything I'd learned, but I was too scared to argue. I went left while he went right. My gun was shaking in my hands as I felt along the wall. Each step on the creaky floor sounded like an announcement. "Here I am. Come get me." My breathing was too loud in the silence. Then Briggs screamed. Not a shout or a call for backup. A full-throated scream of terror that made me cream. I ran toward the sound, bouncing off walls and tripping over things in the dark. His voice came from somewhere ahead, still screaming. "Right there! Shoot! Shoot now!" I saw movement in the darkness. Shapes that shouldn't be there. My training took over and I squeezed the trigger. Once, twice, 6 times. The muzzle flash lit up the room in strobe light bursts. White powder exploded everywhere as my bullets found their targets. Then nothing. Just my ragged breathing and the ringing in my ears. The acrid smell of gunpowder mixed with something else. Flour. It smelled like flour. Briggs walked over calmly and flipped on the light switch. The room was empty except for 6 bags of flour with bullet holes in them. White powder covered everything like snow. No threats. No danger. Just me standing there with an empty gun and flour in my hair. Briggs examined each bag, counting the holes. He pulled out his radio and spoke in that same calm voice. "Yeah, they failed. They're too trigger happy and turned off their body cam. They're dangerous to us. You know what to do with them next." Full story on channel link below.